third forms are here. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you guys next time on Blue the Hedgehog. I'm joking with this stupid ass intro. I normally start off these stream updates with a sort of forward, and then I go into the balance patches because that's usually what's shown first. But something more important has cropped up, and that's the third costumes for Terra and Kefka. Why are they more important? Because you can get them right now on this balance patch. Unlike Dissidia Arcade, where they had to wait until the Zenos patch for these costumes to come out, they're already available here despite us being a patch behind. The individual prices are $12 a pop, or $20 altogether. They're so pricey because you're buying one costume, 4 voice lines, and a weapon altogether. The normal price of a DLC weapon and a DLC costume combined is $4. So the voice lines are worth $8 a pop, I guess. God damn, that is a lot of money. Yeah, the voice lines are $2 a pop, making 4 voice lines, that's $8. Why are they priced like that? I don't know. The bundle saves you $4 if you're willing to buy both Kefka and Terra's packs. In the future, I'll probably put the third forms at the end of the video like I usually would have done if it was another content piece that they added. Alrighty, now into the normal patch recap. When it comes to the Steam version, they're going to be introducing some region fixes. The matchmaker will be more strict as to who it chooses to pair up with you to reduce lag. This means opponents more close to you and ones with better Wi-Fi. In theory, that is. It did work for the PS4 when we got this patch, though I think it was touted as region locking American and Japanese players, but I still get Japanese players, it's just a lot less laggy than before. The only time I ever get laggy matches is when I'm playing with a friend. Just one friend, not a full party. And when I'm using a character with a significantly different rank than theirs. So yeah, this patch should hopefully fix Steam queuing. After quickly mentioning these fixes, they went over some new songs that'll be added to NT next patch. I'll put a link in the description down below to the trailer for it. The songs are Mount Gold from Final Fantasy I, The Dark Crystals from Final Fantasy III, In Search of Light from Final Fantasy V, Birth of a God from Final Fantasy VII, Premonition from Final Fantasy VIII, Shinryu from Final Fantasy XI, The Worm's Tale from Final Fantasy XIV, Omnis Lacrima from Final Fantasy XV, why is it in all caps? And War, Howl of the Dreadnought from Final Fantasy Zero. Okay, there was 2 non-balance related updates for the rest of this stream, so if you aren't interested in me reciting all the balance changes for Cloud of Darkness and describing Zenos' character, you might want to leave after these 2 announcements. 1. A bug was fixed on Stellar Fulcrum that prevents you from getting wall rushed where there are no walls. 2. Every month we'll get the 3rd costume pack. Both characters in each pack will be from the same Final Fantasy video game. Alrighty, now into balance stuff. Cloud of Darkness got a kind of like a mini rework, I would say, mostly in the HP attacks becoming much better category. For pretty much all the bravery attacks on the other hand, they've been adjusted slightly. You can dodge out of them faster now if you miss the initial hit, but in most other scenarios they made it take 1 or 2 frames longer to get out of the attack if you land the hits, or if you're doing the other hits and you miss the other hits. For example, let's use the neutral bravery here. If you miss the first hit, it takes 3 less frames to get out of it with a dodge. If you miss the second input, it takes 3 less frames to get out of it with dodge. But if you land the full thing and try to dodge out of it, it takes 1 more frame. Alongside that, the velocity you're launched at when you get hit by a full combo has been altered for most of them. An example would be with the neutral bravery in the air being harder to get a wall rush with, while the forward bravery in the air will be easier to get a wall rush with. The only melee attack that didn't get these changes was the dash attack. The velocity a target is launched at by getting hit by this attack is now the same in the air and on the ground. The air version has had its knockback decreased, but the charged version of it in the air only has had its knockback increased. Also, your vertical tracking has been removed after the attack has been launched. It still vertically tracks, but doesn't change the angle after you've launched the attack anymore. Now into the projectiles. The ground projectile has been nerfed. It takes 20 more frames to dash cancel out of it, it takes 1 more frame to guard out of it, and it takes 1 more frame to do any other action out of it now. They also changed how long the glide lasts and how fast you go while gliding while casting it. They showed it off during the stream, and honestly it doesn't look that much different, so it's not something to panic about. Just like the grounded projectile, it takes 20 more frames to dash cancel out of the aerial projectile, but that's not the biggest change at all. No. It is now a single giant ball. It has higher priority now, uncharged and in its charged form, so take of that what you will, but it's a ball now. Maybe because of the size of the projectile, or maybe I'm just tripping, but it seems to go a little bit further now too, so that's good, but like, holy shit, what a big change. This is going to be so much more annoying to deal with now, especially with the higher projectile priority. Oh lord. I hope it's better for Cloud of Darkness. It really needs the buffs. If this is a buff, I hope it's a buff. And yeah, those are the biggest changes to the bravery attacks for Cloud of Darkness. The unique EX skill's gotten 4 more meters for range too. I'm not talking about Umbral Torrent because that's just a buff, I'm talking about the Zero Form Particle Beam. Okay, now to the meat and potatoes of this update, the HP attacks. Wide Angle Particle Beam got like almost no changes, it's like 1 frame longer to get out of it, and the glide got adjusted a bit, no big change there. The Fusion Particle Beam has Brave damage now. Also, the attack goes a little bit further, even if it's a little bit thinner. They basically gave COD Furion's Crown of Arms attack, just as a projectile now. Speedy Cloud of Darkness players? Possible? Anti-Air Particle Beam seems to back this up. as its glide speed and duration has been changed, and now you can go 0.4 meters further. In high speed particle beam, y'all, I don't need to describe it, just look at the video. It can actually snipe people now. It's not just a I hope you panic dodge attack, it's an actual HP attack now. Cloud Darkness has 4 HP attack options, I can't believe it. Almost forgot to mention that charged up attacks give you this interesting little buff that lowers enemy damage for a little bit. And those were what I felt are the most important changes to Cloud Darkness' gameplay in the upcoming Zenos patch. Read more in the description below for the link to the full patch notes for it. Okay, so we're gonna move on to Zenos now. Neutral Brave is pretty standard stuff, 4 slices in the air and on the ground. Forward Brave is standard stuff again, except it can be charged too to go longer, further, probably get higher poise. His dash attack projectile changes depending on which weapon you have equipped at the time. The green and blue ones have middle priority, while the red ones have 3 projectiles and they're low priority. And they all do the same amount of damage. Okay, so what you're seeing here now is Zenos' EX skill in action. It's a little bit complicated, and it's the most interesting part of his character, so give me a second to explain it. To get it to fill, you need to land at least 1 full melee combo, or 3 dash attacks. There doesn't appear to be any other way to increase your EX gauge. Shiva's unique EX skill buff doesn't help him at all either, meaning you can only use it when you actually land attacks. Each one of those Sen, which are the red, green, and blue symbols, all different attacks associated with them. They're all unblockable and do 400 bravery damage. They're also how you swap your weapon, as I mentioned earlier, to change your projectile attack. Land all 3 and you get the unique buff Kamiyo Seken. Similar to Ramza, it buffs up Zenos' poise and interruption values to that of a Vanguard. It also gives you access to his Tank Buster for Final Fantasy XIV, which is an HP attack. It does approximately 310 bravery damage, and if you can land the first hit, you become invincible for the rest of them. So Zenos is going to be pulling out unblockable and invincibility attacks every couple of seconds if you're not careful. He's going to be very controversial in the community, I bet. Anyways, make sure to thank Mad Slingshotter for all the translations, and the link to the translations is in the description as usual. Tell me what you think in the comments below about this patch, and I'll see you guys next time on Blue the Hedgehog. Peace, peace, peace. I don't know how to end this video.
I'm so glad we went into one.